That is the highlight of my night so far. Welcome back. You're watching TrendingSA on SABC3. We're also streaming online on TrendingSA.tv. We're live, so we can get all of your posts, your Facebook messages, everything. They give us live. So let's have a look at what you're saying on the socials now. This one... This is actually, this is like a trauma being revisited, like limpa PTSD. Bala mo Musa. No.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. This one comes from Reveal Matsimbi saying, yes, SABC3, it's on 3, you guys. Oh, yes, gorgeous as always. I added lots of words there, but they all made sense. Wandisile says, y'all looking good, squad. Love you. It's on 3. Thank you very much for all of your posts. We really, really love to see what your opinions are on what's going on this show. And listen, you too can have your post read live on air. So make sure you do the right thing. Hashtag TSA on 3. Where do we go next? I think we go to Musa.
All right. Kosatu has elected a new president to replace Stumo Dlamini. The announcement came today after the National Congress. Hashtag Zukiswa Losi was elected into the position unopposed, making her the very first woman president of the Federation. So big round of applause for that one. Yes. Now, the election of Losi comes after speculation that the union members were turning their backs on the outgoing president Stumo, who, of course, defied the organization's decision to have him distance himself from former President Jacob Zuma. Now, of course, who is Zukiswa Losi? Who is Zingiswa Losi? Well, she grew up in the Eastern Cape and comes from a family of activists. And of course, she served in the SA Defence Force for 3 years. And then after that, she was at Musa, which is a national union for metal workers of South Africa, as a shop steward there. After that, she left the army before the announcement as President Zingiswa held the position of second deputy president of COSATU. Let's hope that, she goes out there and does what is supposed to be done.
But I have a question here, COSATU. Who really wields the power? Is it the president or is it the general secretary?
It's actually very interesting because people think that the general secretary has the most power because the general secretaries are usually at the coalface. They're like with the people. So they are engaging with the people on the ground all the time. But their voice does seem more powerful. But this president, she's not a lame duck. She's not one of those who will just let things fly. Do you know what I'm saying? She is a force to be reckoned with. So it's going to be very interesting watching her impact on COSATU.
Very interesting times ahead. And of course, we at TrendingSA are proud and send our congratulations to Zingiswa Losi on her appointment. We wish her the very best in her position. Moving on to the next hashtag, of course. Now you know that the fact that there is always someone in your life who's either emotionally needy or very self-centered. And all of this attention is what they want. They want it all to themselves all the time. And Twitter peeps went out and basically gave us a survival kit on how to handle the needy and very self-centered people in your life and in your circles. Thus, the hashtag how to handle attention seekers popped up on the timeline. Let's take a look at what you guys had to say. This one from Duma. It says, how to handle attention seekers. Delete the whole paragraph and reply with K. If you want to see them fuming, this is what you must do. And then another one from Son of an Eagle saying, how to handle attention seekers. Aiwe naume. Woo! Woo!
Ow.
Woo!
Hand.
One from Trava saying, how to handle attention seekers. Wish them a good night at 7 p.m. They will be so confused if you do that. Now, these are some good tips on how to survive an attention seeker. But things took a turn, of course, when Tweeps decided to extend this hashtag to celebrities, creating an offspin of the hashtag. And this one was hashtag preach like SA celebs. Shed was thrown at our celebs and all the things that they've done. And some of your faves took a few bullets. Here's what you had to say. This one from Mustafa saying, preach like SA celebs. I started to sing when I was 5 years and I came to Jersey with just 20 rands. Then you know, you're definitely talking to a celebrity in South Africa. Another one from Siabulela saying that preach like SA celebs. I'm not doing this for money. Yeah, right. And then, of course, another one from Cotton Candy saying that preach like SA celebs. It's possible, black child. Keep on working. You don't need connections. Ow. Ja, Nina. Well, that's it, and that's the update for this evening.
I love it. Thank you very much. Now, attention, attention, friends, countrymen, fellow hosts, lend me your ears because we must talk about the biggest, highest ranking news story of the day. And that is the private use of marijuana has now been decriminalized by the highest court in the country. You can now smoke dacha, Mary Jane, Beminsango, light up a doobie, whatever you choose to call it.
All these claps, Musa.
All these claps.
Hey!
So, the Dacha party has done it. They finally won what they've been fighting for all these years. And Twitter people and everyone was going crazy.
Yo.
They were lighting it up legally this time round.
Wait. Does this mean that people are going to start opening weed cafes or those dispensaries where they sell to people who need it for medicinal purposes? Can people now smoke weed at work? Can they take smoke breaks like regular tobacco smokers? Guys, help.
Listen, I think before we get carried away, let's look at some tweets that break down the ruling, right? Have a look at this. Maybe we'll get some understanding. So this is a tweet from the official Concord SA Twitter handle, and that is the criminal prohibition of possession, use, or cultivation of cannabis by an adult person for personal consumption in private is an infringement of the right to privacy of an adult person and constitutionally invalid. Wabona mos. Let's have a look at the next one. Journalist Nzinga Kunta saying the judgment does not say how much cannabis can be used, possessed, or cultivated. That is up to Parliament. So, Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo has upheld last year's ruling made by the Western Cape High Court that marijuana can be used at home and ruled that Parliament must change the Drug Trafficking and Medicines Control Act. So now, if you're an adult, 18 plus, you can grow cannabis plants and smoke the cannabis in the privacy of your own home. You know what's been interesting? Seeing how many people are just so excited about this. Like, we can see all the potheads on our timelines. We know, y'all. So the ruling has sparked quite a response online. Have a look at these tweets. Fem the Human saying, if you know you didn't blaze before the Concord judgment, don't start now. You weren't with us when we were risking our lives. And Teboho says, black Twitter smokers going to Sneyman. Off we go. Off they go.
Off they go. I even saw a hashtag like, hashtag now that dagger's criminalized, to try and figure out what this all means. This dagger, I don't know how to say the it's too much for me. Okay. People wondering if they can smoke at work, if they can smoke in the university residence or become weed-selling kingpins, coining it and making money. Come on, guys. The answer is no, no, no. You can't sell it. You can't buy it. You will need to grow it. You can't smoke it in public, and you can't smoke and drive. Come on, guys. I mean, that's a ludicrous concept anyway. There are only 26 countries in the world where daga has been decriminalized in full or under certain conditions. These include Canada, yes, Amsterdam, obviously, and Jamaica, obviously.
Yeah, well, you spoke about, how one cannot smoke and drive.
Yeah.
The JMPD has said that they will arrest those who drive when they are high, because drunken driving doesn't only refer to alcohol, it also refers to being under the influence of drugs. But now, my question is, how is this going to be tested? Because as far as I know, there is no roadside drug test in South Africa.
Yeah.
Are they going to develop it now that it's legal?
They must do. There must be. I mean, how are you going to go have a quick wee into a cup? There must be something that they develop, right?
Yeah, it's all a little bit weird, but look, you can look at it in many ways. There's the official legal way that we're looking at things, but also like the medical perspective. And this is an argument that a lot of people have had, over the past while. Yeah. The good versus the bad. Do weed smokers benefit from this? Is it a good thing? Are they violent people or are they not? Does it mellow them down or does it make them hyper? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of this has also been based around, the different behaviors that the different behaviors that people have been having on these drugs. So I think it's important to sort of figure out what's the good and what's the bad.
I thought that, it will obviously the world will be a better place with weed smokers because they're not as violent as the drinkers and the rest of those other people.
Those other people.
Wow. And does that make it seems so bad, right? We're all focusing on the negatives, it's weed, it's bad, but we also need to realize that there are some positive benefits, believe it or not. It's good for your hair.
Okay, so
yes, it's good for the hairline, it grows it.
How do you wash?
There's a certain way in which you, like, boil it, and then you crush it some other way, and then you just
sounds
stagger it
like
as a conditioner.
Okay.
And it actually grows your hair and strengthens it. It also helps decrease spasms in people who have Parkinson's disease. Yeah, it helps relieve anxiety, chronic pain, or it can also relieve nausea for cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy. So it's not all bad.
But that's
Let's not just
if
think of
you're-
the smokers.
That's not if you're smoking it.
No.
correct? Yeah.
No, you can't smoke it to heal.
So that's the
Yeah.
good element that you've mentioned. You know, people saying that it is good for your hair, although we have no research to prove this, that, some elements is better than, some drugs that many people may use. But I think some of the effects are quite exaggerated. They're said to make the drug look like a good thing because no one is ever violent on drugs and things such as that. But there are many other elements because it's a highly addictive drug. A lot of people use it and they end up being dependent on it, and not even just for medicinal use, but doctors, and of course, have come out and applied special permissions for you to get it if you get a prescription. And a lot of places like America and places like that give it to people that have severe migraines, chronic fits and things such as that. And of course, you need to keep in mind the dangers of using dagga. Now, there are not so many rehabilitation centers in South Africa, and to overload them is also a big, big problem. I think this is what one of the big issues the people that were opposing the bill were fighting, is that there's going to be just a huge strain on the health system because you get the big problem. So I know this because I've experienced it, where you get young people that went out at break to smoke with their friend, and their peer pressure of it is, let's just smoke one. So there you are, you pull one, and 30 minutes later, you're in my casualty because you're having hallucinations, people are attacking you, someone's fighting you. You end up getting admitted for substance-induced psychosis, and basically for the rest of your life, you're on treatment off of just a couple of pulls of the dagga. So very, very interesting, and we'll see where this goes.
But it's for 18 and over, not for young kids.
Yeah, so I mean, look, the way that they've structured the bill or passing the law is kind of nice because they've said and set parameters that are quite nice. So they've said you must be an adult, you must smoke it or use it in your home, you must grow it there, you can't buy it, you can't sell it. So it's quite protective. But let's be honest, if you're saying something as big as this, it's going to be problematic because people are like, I'm just going to smoke it in the street. What is an adult? If I'm 17, turning 18 next week and I smoke it this week. So it's very ambiguous, and I guess we'll have to see where this goes.
Well, the cops will tell you what is an adult when they
Oh
arrest
my
you.
gosh. It's exhausting. Okay. People who smoked what are you saying?
Dagga.
Dagga. Have some of the craziest stories about what has happened to them when they got high. Everybody reacts differently, like this guy.
So many different types of food. Brittany's gone. All right, you're on your own. I feel like I'm in a movie. You're here for eggs. Stay focused. Oh, bananas. I need bananas. All this food is really just ingredients for poop. Wish my mom was here. I do not wish my mom was here. All right, eggs. My mouth feels like a desert. That guy looks scary. This is like a farm animal cemetery.
What's next? You, come on. Hey, what can I get you?
What kind of meat is good today?
That's crazy. Hey, listen, so if you are brave enough, follow the instructions below and let us know if you're sparking a doobie privately in your home while watching the show. We'll be right back. This is TrendingSA on 3.
I wasn't gonna run from the cops, but I was high. I'm serious, man. I was gonna.